obviously, it's not an easy thing to be a person in this world, because you see the total unraveling of Adam's descendants by the end of the parsha, and the necessity for the singularity of Noach to stand out because the world became so corrupt. What's that all about? What's that all about? Mm-hmm. So obviously, it's a difficult assignment, and there's something that I've been discussing a lot lately in conversation with students and friends and family and you, and in videos. Is something that I'm studying myself a great deal lately that I feel is a major component to everything that people need to understand, especially in this generation, and that is this concept, which is absolutely, preeminent in Torah thought, which is that we live in a world of concealment. Now, that is from the get-go. Again, Parshat Breshit, the first Torah portion of Genesis, nothing is as it appears. And that's my word of advice as the key for those students that are listening, students of Torah. We're all students of Torah that would like to approach, like you say, with reverence, with awe, with humility. Because I always say that Torah study is a lifetime. And maybe it's over the top, like maybe I say that too often, but honestly, when it comes to this one Torah portion that we are reading this week, it is just so totally unfair and frustrating that it's this Shabbat, and then we're going to go on already to Noah. But that's the way the cycle works, because this is an absolute, one lifetime of a normal human being is not enough at all, to get any idea of what this is really all about. And just in some of the Zoom classes that I've had and a number of different classes that we've given over, I mean, just every detail is so significant of understanding what this is all about. Who were Adam and Eve? What was Cain and Abel all about? What was the angel guarding the path to the Garden of Eden with the ever-turning sword? What are these things really all about? It's not something that can just be captured in a doré painting, that's not it. There's something else going on here altogether. And, there's a verse that I want to mention now from the beginning of Exodus, when Hashem was introducing himself to Moshe. In chapter 3 and verse 15, famous verse, Hashem says, because Moshe was asking Hashem, by the way, again, I really want to be conscious of this in this new cycle of podcasts, because I know that our audience is growing, and that's why I wanted to reintroduce what Jerusalem Lights is all about, and reintroduce the word Torah, which of course is the way of life of the people of Israel and all those who embrace Hashem, the God of Israel. But what is this word Hashem that we use all the time? So Hashem means literally the name, and it is a way that we reverentially refer to the word in Hebrew, which is usually translated in English as the Lord, not God, which is God, but his name, which is translated, I don't really think it's a great translation of the Lord, but it's the one that is written with Yud and He and Vav and He, which is not pronounced the way it is written, but rather it is pronounced as Adonai, which means master, which we also normally would not pronounce except in prayer and study, but I'm using this as a teaching moment, so I allowed myself to say it. The reason that we refer to it as Hashem, the name, reverentially, is because it's a form of taking Hashem's name in vain, to kind of just like banter it around, But what I wanted to say is this, and this is the important thing. In Exodus chapter 3 and verse 15, when Moshe is asking what's his name, and God says, he gives him this name, and he says, "This is my name forever, and this is my remembrance from generation to generation. Ze shmi le'olam, veze zichri ledor dor." This is my name forever and my remembrance from generation to generation. I want to say two things about that verse. One is that our sages received the tradition from, again, when we say that our sages say something, it's not something that they ever made up. It's the tradition that came down to them from Hashem through Moshe at Mount Sinai. But what we are taught is that verse is signaling this concept that Hashem himself said, "This is my name forever, and this is my remembrance from generation to generation. Do not read my name the way it is written." And one hint to that is the fact that when it says, "This is my name forever," the word le'olam, which means forever, is written without a vav. And so when olam, which means, this is by itself, in itself is a huge lesson. The word olam means the world, the universe. It also means forever. But when it's written without a vav, it spells the word hidden. concealed. So that teaches me two things. One thing is that Hashem's name is concealed. He doesn't want it pronounced in this world the way it's written. And the other is that his presence is concealed in this world. And the two are connected, because the great sages teach that were Hashem's name to be pronounced the way it is written in this world, there would no longer be any free choice. Were it to be pronounced the way it is written, because things would be so clear. But instead now we have this dichotomy, illusion, and the idea is that Hashem concealed his presence in this world to such an extent. This is one of the most profound ideas that I've ever seen expressed by our holy sages. He concealed his presence in this world to such an extent, knowingly, that he even gives a person the opportunity to deny that he exists altogether. You know, he so conceals himself that if you want, you could say, I don't even believe in God altogether. Hashem says, okay. That's the challenge. And this is all coming forth from this Torah portion of Genesis, that we live in a world of total concealment.